welcome to this week's edition of the Sunday User Podcast. I'm privileged and honored to be joined by the new Squash Federation of Africa President, that is Lucky Mlilo. Lucky, congrats on your recent election as the boss of Africa Squash.
Thank you so much.
Well, Lucky, what does it mean for Zimbabwe for you to be at the helm of squash in Africa?
Okay, it means quite a lot for Zimbabwe. Being at the helm of Squash Africa, what it means that I preside over all the squash matters of the continent, and we are looking at 54 countries. Obviously not all countries do play squash, but we do have 30 countries that are quite active, and our mandate is to look at those countries that are not playing squash so that we introduce the sport.
But as Zimbabwe, we used to have some of the finest players. I remember Jesse Engelbrecht, Samson Mwati, and the likes. Where are we in this day and age? Do we still have those kind of players in our ranks?
Yes, you correctly have identified those players. Most of them did get scholarships and went to America, and they've since graduated, but they are still contributing to the sport of squash in Zimbabwe through mobilization of resources. They do come back and donate things like rackets, and they also do some coaching clinics. Yes, we do have some brilliant kids that are coming up. For instance, the likes of Ryan Guizima, who got a scholarship at one of the top squash colleges in the UK, which is Wycliffe College. He's done so well. He's been a champion in his age group in Wales, Poland, and the college itself. And we also do have in Harare, there's Polite Mugure, who's upcoming. The sister used to be the ladies champion in Zimbabwe, and Polite is doing so well in the juniors. She is actually our juniors champion. And quite a number of other children that are doing well. We were supposed to send a team to Egypt in August for the World Juniors, but unfortunately due to COVID, that tournament has been deferred. So we do have quite a lot of talent in terms of the junior squash.
But at the moment, where are we? We know a lot of sporting activities were put on hold in Zimbabwe because of the COVID situation, and then now some sports have been allowed to come back. We see football is back, but squash will not have much in terms of local action. Where are we at the moment?
Okay, yes, the activities were actually suspended last year. We were inactive from March up until November, when we were allowed to resume activities. And then that was short-lived because we were again suspended in January. But as of March this year, we have been allowed to resume activities. But unfortunately, looking at our juniors calendar, we do have the Matabeleland and Mashonaland and Zimbabwe Junior Championships that are played in February and March. So when we were given the authority to resume, we could not hold those championships. The premier event that we have on an annual basis is the Zimbabwe Open, which takes place in August. But looking at the time frame, that needs a long time in terms of preparations. It's unlikely that we will have the Zimbabwe Open this year. So what we've done is we are now concentrating on 2022, where we intend to host the All Africa Seniors Championships. It could be in Harare or Bulawayo. And we are also going to host the World Squash Federation AGM in Vic Falls next year.
Just going back to your election, how did you manage to win versus the likes of Egypt and Nigeria? You know, they are powerhouses in this sport in Africa. How did you manage to beat countries from Nigeria and Egypt?
It was quite strategic the way we went into that, but I would also say that my groundwork has been over the years. That was done over the years. I have interacted with quite a number of countries, the likes of Eswatini, the likes of Uganda, Zanzibar. It has been a long journey. It just didn't start now. But when the opportunity came for presidency, I thought being a vice president for 8 years, that was the right opportunity, and I grabbed that with my hands. And hence that relationship that I have with all these countries, this is why I got all those votes.
So you're also sitting on the World Squash Federation and now president of Squash Federation of Africa. What does it benefit Zimbabwe? You've been at a world stage now. You're up there, and then also the boss of Africa. What does it benefit us as Zimbabwe for you to be up there?
There are quite a number of spill-off benefits by virtue of being the president of Squash Federation of Africa. Just yesterday we had a meeting for all the regional presidents, and I'm talking about Asia, Oceania, Europe, and Pan-America. These are the regions for the World Squash. So we had a meeting and I was representing Africa. What it means is that I know the challenges that we have in Zimbabwe, and this is the opportune time for me to take advantage of this relationship that I now have. I'm close to the World Squash Federation, and I should be able to take advantage of being closer to the headquarters.
And over the years, you've been involved in officiating the sport. Are you still going to continue, or you're now a big boss, or you still continue?
Basically, I think I'll just tone down a little bit in terms of refereeing because of the hectic schedule that I will be having. Because what it means, besides sitting on the World Squash Federation Executive Committee, I'll be able to sit on some committees within the organization. There are committees, and those committees, it is mandatory that you have somebody from all the continents. So I recall the late president, he was sitting on 3 other committees besides just sitting on the executive. So there is quite a lot of work. So I might just tone down a little bit on refereeing, but I do not intend to step down completely.
And then lastly, what has been a immediate task since you got elected? I mean, it's just been a week since you got elected. What has been the most immediate task for you as the boss of the Squash Federation of Africa?
Okay, the immediate task, we are going to have an executive committee meeting on Friday, and we are basically looking at things like constitution. It has some gray areas that we've identified and need to be aligned with the World Squash Federation vision and mission. And then we are also going to constitute subcommittees. We are looking at the ethics and disciplinary committee. We do also have the commercial and business executive committee. We also have the IT and the marketing. So these committees should be constituted this week so that we hit the ground running.
Okay. That has been Lucky Mlilo, the Squash Federation of Africa president. Well, Lucky, thanks for your time, and wishing you all the best in your tenure as the president of Squash Federation of Africa.
Thank you so much for inviting me.